afternoon, everyone. It really is a privilege to read here in this wonderful room. And I am going to be reading from the debut collection, I Am Not Light. The themes in this sort of all kind of circle identity and loss in one way or another. So I'm going to start with the first poem from the collection called Family Tree. I belong to the branches, but not the roots. To the scent of balsam, to heart-shaped leaves, my yellow-green catkins symbiotic with the wind, visible, sunlit. I belong to the branches, but not the roots, wound together, burrowing to reach the lethe in hope of forgetting, of reincarnation. I sing to the world to kill this knowing. Now this book is in 3 parts, 3 sections, so I'm going to read a couple from each section, and they're all quite short poems in this one. So this is the title poem, I Am Not Light. I am not light fast. I fade at the edges, sun-bleached like memory disputed by time. Life leaches brilliance from fibres of urgency, bright ochre flames doused in gin and midnight. I claim these thinning gowns and wear them crowned in gold. There is no daylight without erasure, and though sunshine has worn me away, I welcome its heat on my face, but only on occasion. A lucid illumination of age. Forgive me, I am not light, but a palette of colour-washed darkness, trying to preserve what little I have left. There are a lot of poems in here that sort of come from childhood as well, and things that I remember from family members that are no longer with us. And my nanny used to have all these sort of little sayings that I used to think were hers, but they're not. They're actually just old sayings that people used to try out. So this one uses a title from that, and it's called A Burnt Child Dreads the Fire. I dare to get out of bed each day, wash my face in troubled waters, rough flannel, tender cheeks, skin aflame from the fingertips of yesterday's reluctant ownership. I keep my breathing shallow, beneath a square of sodden cotton, as though this room is smoke-filled, made safe by makeshift blindfolds and a thin but bolted door. I souse the canvas of my flesh, hot water pooled in porcelain, the slop and slough echoes, a rhythmic meditation made orange in the dawning light. I recite the rules by rote, by heart, by practice, 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 by trial and by error, so quietly the hum of my voice is a vaporous elegy to rebellion, a softly spoken slander. I have been taught the right way, and my way are not always the same. I pat the notes of my learning dry, water drains away. There is breakfast to be made, with clean hands for glass smiles. So this next poem is sort of really more about, rather than loss of identity, it links into the loss of a person. And I'm sure that everyone has had that situation where you've thought you've seen someone and it can't be them because they're not here with us anymore. So this is about that, and it's called People Disappear. People disappear. Not like in the movies, with dramatic sirens and searches and confusion. Quietly, they leave. Now there's no need to buy 2 kinds of milk, but your absent-mindedness forgets until you see someone who can't be them, and the certainty of their vanishing drags memory like a marauder, kicking and screaming into the dairy aisle, belting out its silent tantrum beneath strip lights and strangers, and into a basket empty of milk, but brimming with the sour taste of absence. And this one is along a similar vein. I love the word arborist. I've always wanted to fit the word arborist into a poem, so it makes the title in this one. So this is Becoming an Arborist. The shedding of sticks is a symptom. Dull starburst of cankers in the brain, driving decay to the extremity of existence. When leaves have fallen, trunk and limbs hewed, a cyclical miracle occurs deep in the earth. The pallbearers of new life feed the soil, an heirloom of shelter persisting where roots have sprawled beyond their branches, a posthumous mothering of nutrients and knowledge. Above ground, this language of legacy leaks through thread-like hypha, footings of hope thriving in death on a diet of necessary rot. In spring, the constancy of Tyrian blooms will cluster around this base of dead wood. Only then will I remove my gardening robes and let the bluebells breathe me in. So this next one kind of links into the other one. There's a few poems in here that have got sort of a nature theme in them. And this links to, I've got a wall in my back garden with loads of beautiful purple flowers on it. And when me and Hope bought the house, we looked at this wall and we were like, oh, what a beautiful space that is. And I came home one day and there was sort of a plume of smoke coming out of the window in the back garden, and the flowers were in a wheelbarrow on fire, and my neighbour Gary has come over the wall and said, oh, Louise, got rid of all the weeds on your wall. So this is sort of an elegy, if you like, to the lilac flowers on the wall, and it's called Clearing the Wall Without Permission. Greenery on the cusp of blossoming, ripped from its nest of clay, burns in an old wheelbarrow, burns so darkly the bricks behind move as if to Orpheus' song, dirge of a magical death. The starkness of a boundary line, austere in its emptiness, whispers short days into thick air, standing beneath perpetual dusk, dragging laments from the open throat of a force-fed fire eater. Now in April, nature returns. Lilac waves crossing chipped mortar, a world of life and light, finding its way from grief. I look back to share this moment, but you have disappeared, and I am left with new growth. And I'm going to finish with a new poem that is from a body of work that I'm currently working on. And it links into this idea of loss and identity and family, and the title is Remains. Pulling up floorboards in the back room, we saw a green check tea towel tightly wound, years hoarded in folds of bruised yellow, incongruous with copper pipes in cavities and the tedium of Sunday morning DIY. Fatherly hands unfolded the cloth. As we watched, he brought to light the fragile skeleton of a tiny bird, phalanges curled and consenting to this almost ceremony of the dining table, not quite final rites for our cotton-bound hand-me-down. My eyes widened, like the orbital rings of that small skull, emptying their disbelief across its featherless frame, neck-jointed like a plastic snake. A hollowed relic of care, wrapped as though old bones could fly away, as though keeping it close would keep it alive. Turning to my mother, he said, people are strange, aren't they? In a room where now he keeps her ashes. Thank you.